So I'm going to have to talk about this. It happens too many times on the platform. It's, oh, Lord, God will help us. Okay, so this happens with the VIP members, obviously, because they're the members that get matched personally. So with that, you have to, you have the option of matching with somebody or declining to match with somebody. So this actually centers around, people's choice to decline. And I'm not the one to tell you, oh, choose this person or don't choose this person for this reason or not. I'm not going to tell you your reason is silly, even if I feel it is. But seriously, though, I'm not going to tell you your reason is, because we're all different. So, yeah, obviously you have a reason to put certain things on your list. But I'm going to tell you, before you decline somebody, ask yourself this question. Will this matter in 10 years? And this is the reason why you're declining that person. Ask yourself if that will matter in 10 years. We've had this happen a couple of times where people have come back after being matched and stuff. And then maybe a year later, they're like, okay, the other guy, can I be matched with him now? And I'm like, you rejected this guy. And to be honest, this is actually an actual example. Her part to be praised, she doesn't hear this. Anyway, but I felt it was silly then. And I think I told her, actually, I did tell her, I was like, why would you decline someone based on this? This could always change. And it was on his hair. She was like, I don't like the way his hair looks, And I was like, he can always cut it or grow it, hair changes. Because every other thing, according to her, was perfect. I think he went to the same school, it just seemed really good. And yeah, surprise, surprise, she came back and was like, I want to be matched with that guy. And I'm like, you rejected him based on this. And now, are you okay with the hair? And she's like, yeah, I just felt it's not a big deal. So unfortunately, he had already been matched. But that's the thing, you actually miss out on somebody because you didn't really think about it when you made that decision. So it wasn't something that you were like, you just thought, I don't like, especially, and this happens actually when people have a lot of good options. They start to take, choose based on some, I don't want to say trivial things, but kind of trivial things. Because like, for me, I feel like a haircut can always change, and, that's not always an issue. But people are allowed to decline for whatever reason. There was a guy that declined a lady, and this I felt was a good reason personally. He said she's about 40 and he wants to have kids, and he feels like it might be a little bit tougher to have kids over, with someone over 40. And I'm like, yeah, not technically not, but I could see some reason in his own choice, in the reason or, whatever. I could understand a part of it. And the reason why I decided to talk about this today was because we had a lady, and I pray she doesn't listen to this too. Well, I'm not calling names, so yeah. And she said, oh, this guy is really good. But she's like, yeah, he doesn't have a beard. I like guys with beards. And I'm like, I don't know if he can grow one, so I can't promise you and say, oh, no, he can grow a beard. It'll probably be fine. No, I understand that if you're attracted to something physically, you're allowed to, obviously. But ask yourself that question, will this matter in 10 years? So if in 10 years' time, you're like, yes, I still don't want someone with a beard, it's understandable. Some people choose based on religion and they're like, I want a Christian as well, or I want a Muslim as well. And in 10 years' time, that is not going to change. It's going to be the same, So it makes sense if your reason will not change, your reason for declining somebody. But when you decline somebody like, this person lives in Ikeja, I live in Lekki. In 10 years' time, will it matter? I mean, if that person was a good catch, don't you know? Don't you think that obviously locations could change? You could move to Ikeja. He could move to Lekki, wherever you are. So I feel like people decline for some reasons that I'm like, yeah, I mean, I can't tell you not to decline, but I really would hope and I pray. And I really, really pray. Maybe I'll fast too. That people start asking themselves that question, like, will this matter in 10 years? This reason I'm declining this person, will it matter in 10 years? I mean, personally, I've been in that place. 10 years ago, the reason why I declined some people, just, dating, and the reason why I declined certain people, I wouldn't decline them for that same reason now. So I've personally been in that place where I've declined for some things I felt were important at that time. Maybe like, oh, I declined him because of this or that. And then now I'm like, oh, that was a silly reason. So I don't want you to make the mistakes I made. No, please don't. I don't want you to make the mistakes I made. We're here to learn. And so if I've made some mistakes, I'm going to tell you so that you can avoid them, So please always ask yourself, will this matter in 10 years? And if it won't matter, then give it a chance, especially when the person has every other thing that you feel is good. So hopefully with these few words of mine, I've been able to convince you and not confuse you. It's too late for this madness.